All right, everybody, we're going to do an introduction to combustion here. All right. So what is combustion? That's a good question. Combustion. Ooh. In combustion, shadow. What happened to my T there? It's weird. No, like it. So what are the two reactants in every combustion reaction? Uh-oh. Oxygen. What's the formula for oxygen when it reacts? O2. Reacts with a fuel. That's your variable. To give what two products? CO2 and uh-oh. In the winter, you see it coming out the tailpipe. It's like a white smoke. H2O, that's water, and it hits the cold air and it condenses. And you see water vapor. Yeah. So you need to know three of those parts, or else you can't do this question. I'm telling you the fuel indirectly here, aren't I? You just need to have a formula to balance the equation. So anybody got the number of C's for my fuel? I'll put the fuel in red here. Fuel. How many C's over here? C8. 3 in the parenthesis. Hey, here's a parenthesis at the front. We haven't seen one of those yet. It clearly doesn't mean attached to the previous carbon, does it? There is no previous carbon. What's the only option? Attached to the first carbon after the parenthesis, which is the second. So C8, because 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many H's? You can count them. 3, 6, 9, because there's 3 of them. 9, 11, 12, plus 6, 18. In the morning video, I reminded you for molecules that are just hydrogen and carbon, they're called hydrocarbons, where there's no pi bonds and no rings. The formula is CnH2n plus 2. So 8 times 2 plus 2 gives you the H's, because there's 8 carbons, and that's 18. That's only good for hydrocarbons when there's no rings and no pi bonds. And no other atoms. So it's very limited in its scope, but it is the one formula you should try to memorize. Because when you do introduce rings, you realize, well, every time there's a ring, I lose 2 H's. So you got the one formula you memorize, and then the one fact after that. Rings get rid of 2 H's, every ring. And then every pi also gets rid of 2 H's. So it's good to know for the future. For your combustion question on your exam, it's going to be one step further. We're going to just give you a name of a molecule. But I do promise it will only be a hydrocarbon. There won't be any other atoms except hydrogen and carbon. That makes it easier. As you'll see in our second example here, having oxygen in the fuel already, it's great for when you're burning it because it burns more evenly, but it makes balancing a little trickier. So, C8H18. What's the other reactant? Always? Oxygen. What are the two products always? Because you got to come up with these. I'm not going to have them on the test. There you go. What's the one place you should not start? Which of the three elements, C, H, or O, should you not start with? Oxygen, because it's in more than 2 locations. It's in 1 location, 2 locations, 3 locations. It'll cause trouble. Carbon's in only this location and this location. Good start. Hydrogen, only in this location and this location. Good start. Morning section, we started with carbon. Evening section, we'll start with hydrogen. We'll get to the same place. How do you get 18 hydrogens over here by putting a coefficient in front of water? 9. And we'll balance with purple. Now we got to do carbon. I need 8 carbons on the right side. I'm only allowed to put a number in front of CO2. What number you put in front of CO2? 8. Now you've committed to both of those oxygens. It's time to count them up. So just to be clear, I'm counting oxygens with in 8 molecules of CO2, how many oxygen atoms are there? 16. In 9 molecules of water, how many oxygen atoms are there? Good. Somebody this morning made the mistake of saying 18 for the oxygen, and I had to tell them the worst chemistry joke ever. It's in the video. It's terrible. I don't even want to say anything. So what's 16 plus 9? Uh-oh, that's an odd number, isn't it? Why did I say uh-oh? Because I need a number that multiplies by 2 to give 25. You can say 12 and a half, but your life's a lot easier in a course where calculators are never allowed to do this. 25 over 2 is the same as 12 and a half, right? And you can't end there because you're implying that 12 and a half molecules react. And you just can't say that, can you? So what's our fix when you have a fraction? And your fraction will either be the half or no half. So combustion is easier that way. This is not like balancing those crazy redox equations. Remember those? Oh, yeah, that's a nightmare you don't want to talk about. But what's our fix? Oh, you had a question? No? Anybody got the fix? Multiply everything by 2, right? So let's just write our final answer in blue here. 2C8H18. 25 over 2 times 2. If you do it that way, it's very easy. It's just 25, right? 8 times 2 is 16. 9 times 2 is 18. This is all I really need to see on your activity right here. I'll highlight it. That's all I need to see. I don't need to see that other stuff. Just the final answer. There you go. And let's see this next one. Gonna count C's. Gonna try to go slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. C12. H's, just count them, people. I'm not going to put dots or anything. We've been practicing all weekend. We don't need the dots anymore. Do a running total. Feel free to do the dots if you need them. 3, 6, 7, 9, 10. No more. 12, 13, 15, 16, 18. Did you also get 18? And I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to count it from right to left next time. And I know I haven't counted the O's yet, but I'm going to verify the H's. 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, and 6 more is 18. And there's 3 O's, is that correct? Oh, this is a nightmare. There's oxygen in every formula. Definitely haram to start with oxygen. Okay. Yeah. Well, you want to start with carbon? Why not? I need 12 carbons on the right. Yep. And I need 18 hydrogens on the right. How do I do that? Yeah. Now I got to count up my oxygens. I've got oxygen. 24 plus 9, 33. But I only have to account for 30. 33 minus, I don't want to put a number in front of my fuel, do I? No. You have to change everything if you put a number in front of your fuel now, right? So I only have to account for 30 with the O2. That's not a problem. What number I put in front of O2 to get to 30? 15. Let's do it in purple. And this one's done, isn't it? Verify. 30 plus 3 is 33, and 33 over here. 18 H's, 18 H's, and 12 C's and 12. And I only need this highlighted part again. I can do it with one highlight. Look at that. That's cheating. Okay.